I want to listen to the ticking of a wall clock until my heartbeat sinks to its rhythm.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is didnt. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you'll be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's get into the video.
So lovelies, I came by this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where child-free by choice women, have to give reasons why they decided to become child-free. A lot of them were actually not intended to be child-free, maybe right from birth, but something or one thing or the other actually got them to change their mind. And one of them actually asked this question about what actually made you to decide that you're just gonna be child free, and a lot of them actually came with response, and most of them had experiences that actually brought them to this conclusion. Guys, I'm just gonna roll the clip as well as the stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section and let's get into the video.
I'm curious, when did you, as a child-free by choice woman, start to realize that you didn't want children?
That she wishes she aborted me, and I was really young, and I remember from that moment on just realizing that I had a mother that regretted having me, regretted having kids. She, it seemed like, hated being a mother, and I knew at that point that I would prefer to regret not having kids in the future than to regret having kids in the future and making them feel as bad as I felt when I heard that.
When did you... I was 14 years old, 30 years ago. It's been 30 years. I have no regrets, not a single one. And I remember having this conversation specifically with relatives at a dinner table, and every single one of them, except my mom, because she knows better, every single one of them was like, you're going to change your mind, you're going to change your mind, you're going to change your mind. It's been 30 years. No regrets. Never changed my mind, not a single day. And my mom has been my #1 supporter the entire time, because she is the only one who knows, because she's a mom and she gets it. And I could not thank her enough for supporting that decision and not holding like regrets to that. But yeah, no regrets.
I knew I didn't want kids because I watched all the women in my family do it. That shit is a nightmare. Y'all can have that shit for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I will sit here and starve happily.
I don't want to have children because I want to sleep 8 hours uninterrupted and wake up without an alarm. I want to bask in the morning sun until the droplets on my freshly washed face melt away. I want to listen to the ticking of a wall clock until my heartbeat sinks to its rhythm. I want to watch the sun from the time it shows its face to the time it bids us goodbye, and listen to its beautiful serenade that is the evening sky. I want to watch my hot cup of green tea as it slowly cools down until its pangs are warm enough for my delicate tongue. I don't want to have children because it means giving up the little moments, the ones that easily go unnoticed, the ones that make life worth living, the ones that make us human. I don't want to have children because I want my time to be mine, to do with it as I desire, whether it's watching K-dramas for hours on end, trying a new recipe to delve deeper into another culture, or just listening to little chicks as they call to their mothers. I don't want to have children because I am afraid I will forget about living. Within no time I'll forget about myself, and one day I will look into the mirror and wonder, who is this?
I decided that I didn't want to have children over the course of my life. It wasn't something that I originally knew I didn't want to have children. It kind of evolved over the years. And so when I was younger, I wanted children. I thought that that was, what people did. It was just kind of expected. I didn't really see a different option for myself. And then as I got older, when I was in my late 20s, it was more, if and when I meet someone that I want to spend the rest of my life with, if we both decide we want to have children, then that's something that we would do. If he didn't want children, I would be okay with that. If he did want children, I'd be okay with that too. And then the older I got, when I got into my like early 30s, it was more, if he really wants children, that's something that I would do. But in terms of the way I looked at what I wanted out of a marriage, I wanted to have a few years at the beginning to just be married and not jump right into having children. And so in my early 30s, a few years down the road, I'd be, old to have children. It'd be a geriatric pregnancy. And then it just slowly evolved into me deciding I liked the kind of life I was able to live without children. And while I still want a partner to be able to share life with, what I want to have that life be doesn't include having children. Doesn't mean I hate children. It just means that I don't see myself as a mother, and I would rather regret later down the road not having children than regret having children after I had them. It's something that I'm willing to accept that risk for and that potential regret down the road. But at this point in my life, I don't see, myself having children at all. And I want a partner who doesn't want children or doesn't have them. And I have, a niece and nephew who I love very much and would do anything for. But that doesn't mean that that's the life that I want. And so I think some people would call me selfish for not wanting to have children, but I would think that it would be wrong to have children just to satisfy a societal norm or expectations if I didn't really want them. I think children should be brought into the world and into families who want them, parents who want them. And I think that that's something that is very important for the child. And if I can't provide that for a child, then I think it's the right decision for me to not have children. So those are my reasons and kind of when I decided that I was child free. If anyone has any questions, please let me know, and also go back and follow that creator if you're child free too.
I'm in my mid-30s. I think I decided that I didn't want to be a mother when I was about 25. I have several reasons why I don't want to be a mother, but the primary one is that other mothers that I have interacted with in my life have, while unintentionally, have talked me out of being a mother. I would say about 75% of the women that I have talked to about this stuff, they 100% regret having their children. Some mothers talk about their children with such disgust, disdain, resentment. I've heard some women say that they wish they would have their children when they first found out they were pregnant. Some of these women have even told their more grown kids that they've even wanted to do that. And it doesn't seem appealing. I would say probably only 25% of the mothers that I have interacted with in my life actually are happy that they had children. I know a woman who intentionally got a second job so that way she would have spent less time at home. The father works from home. They're not short on money at all. There was no reason to get a second job, but she did not want to be around her children. One woman, we were all talking about, things that I wish we could do. No, just random, genie-like questions or wishes. And one woman was straight up, I wish I didn't have my kids around me anymore. And she had teenagers. It's I understand, kids go through phases and it's hard to get through the terrible twos, terrible teens. I get it. But yet she's just, it wasn't there was no love. And it hurts me to know that, like, I know some of these kids are family members. And it's like, and they're wonderful kids. But it's like they have no idea that their mother wished they never would have given birth to them. And it's heartbreaking and sad. We just live in a world of, you're supposed to get married, you're supposed to have kids. Even at my age, I still have family members that are like, oh, why don't you have... No, I don't want kids. All of you make it sound horrible. All of you make it sound horrible to be a mother. And what I find most interesting is 9 times out of 10, when I say I don't want to have kids, the top response is, well, who's going to take care of you when you're older? Not, don't you want to experience the joy of being a mother? Don't you want to experience motherhood and that unconditional love? It's like, no, it's no. Who is going to take care of you when you're older? So it's like, all right, these women have children that they don't want to have because they need someone to take care of them when they're older. So you're literally creating life, and instantly you're putting your senior years on their back, and you don't even want them. So you're going to go through all the trouble, all the financial, all the stress of having and raising a child, all purely because you hope it's going to pay out for you in your senior years. It's other mothers have talked me out of having children. It's sad. It is sad. And I don't want that to be me. To create a life and to instantly not want it, but wanting the payoff, wanting the attention of having a children. I know a few mothers who I call them Facebook moms. They have the children to make the nice, fun family post on Facebook. But the reality is they're doing everything they can to get away from their kids. Everything they can. I've had some women get annoyed with me that I don't want to babysit their children whenever they want to go off and have fun for some reason. It's like, these are your kids, your children, your responsibility. It's like, well, you don't have any kids. You don't have any kids. You have all this time. It's like, no, I don't have the time to help you raise your children. I'm sorry that you had children that you didn't want to have. They're yours. Spend time with them. And the thing is, like, I being around kids with these mothers that are growing into teenagers, young adults, they know. They know that you want nothing to do with them. Don't act like your kids are stupid. Just because they're a teenager doesn't mean they don't see that you want nothing to do with them. And it'll affect them the rest of their life. And if you think they're going to come along in your senior years and be like, oh yeah, I'll do all this for you. It's like, you didn't want me. Why should I help you now? Motherhood seems immensely unappealing. It seems like a job I don't want to apply for, and I'm not going to. I am going to remain happily childless. I'll do fine in my senior years, all right? I'll do fine.
I know a lot of people say that they felt this way their whole life. That is not my story. I desperately wanted kids all through my childhood, my teen years, my early adolescence. And I was trying for children with my ex-husband. Not very long, but like, I don't know, a couple months or something. And then we had a very difficult and messy international divorce. And I, in my early 30s, had to move back into a very unhealthy situation with my abusive family. And I spent a lot of time locked in my bedroom reading. A lot of it was like fantasy fiction as an escape, but I also read a metric ton of self-help books. And I learned a lot about myself in that year that I lived with them and before I got back on my own feet. And one of the biggest things I learned was that I wanted children for the wrong reason. I thought I wanted kids because it would be nice to have a family, it would be nice to carry on my legacy and my genes, and, you know, be like a bonding experience with a partner and I, and, you know, all the things that you hear. But I realized the real reason that I wanted to have children was to be unconditionally loved. Because that is not something that I got from my family or my partner. And my disordered, traumatized brain was like, hey, if you create this human in your image, they will love you unconditionally. But we all know that that's not necessarily true. Also, that's an insane amount of pressure to put on a child. And I would have been continuing intergenerational trauma onto the next generation. And because I had the time and space, even though it was in a very toxic situation, to work on myself and do a lot of self-reflection, I was able to make that realization and connect those dots. And that's when I started to question, like, do I actually want kids? So I would have been, I think, 31 at this point. And now I am 43 and still child-free by choice, and very glad that I did not have children. I have severe mental health issues. I have chronic physical health issues. Most of my family is not in my life anymore because of the toxic abuse and other things. And now the person whose love I care about most is my own. And what I mean by that is my relationship with myself is the most important to me right now. And that's not to say that friends and other people are not important to me. They are. But I am the only person I can never get away from. And learning to love myself, while I think it's going to be a lifelong journey, I think is one that absolutely everyone needs to go on. I'm not here to tell you that if you don't love yourself that other people can't love you. I think that that's insane. Other people can 100% love you if you don't love yourself. But life is a lot easier if you are friends with yourself and you learn to start loving yourself. I'm certainly not an expert. I do not unconditionally love myself yet, but I'm getting there. I learned to forgive myself for my mistakes, for my past. I've learned to stop blaming myself for other people's bad treatment of me. I have realized that most of my life was a trauma response and me doing the best I could with the knowledge, tools, and resources that I had at the time. So yeah, my relationship with myself has vastly improved over the last 12 years. But I still can't picture myself having children now because the main reason I wanted them is not a good reason to have them.
I'm not what she asked for because I want kids, but I want to layer something onto this question that I'm really curious about. I grew up knowing that I wanted kids. I always wanted kids. I always knew I wanted to be a mom. But then there was a shift probably around 26 or so. I had been in a serious relationship for years already. I'm still in that relationship. And it kind of dawned on me that I didn't have to. I was like, okay, wait, do I actually want that? Or am I just used to wanting that? Like, is it just kind of muscle memory to want kids? Or is this something that I actually want? And I had to do some like soul searching, and I landed that it is truly what I want. I love my family. I want to be able to build a beautiful family. I have a really good relationship with my mom. I want to be able to pass that on. But there was a time of like reflection and discovery. And so I think that what I want to know is people who don't want kids, did you have that same time of reflection and discovery where you're like, I've always thought that I wanted them, but now I don't? Or were you like, I always thought that I had to have them, but I'm realizing I don't? Or did you just always know you didn't want them? I'm curious.
So I grew up as a child of divorce, and like a lot of divorces, both of my parents are on their third marriage, and my parents only share me. I have an older brother who is not my dad's, just my mom's, and then why is this hair? And then we also have 3 younger sisters, and watching the navigation of the child support system, visitation, the absolute hatred that my parents had for each other, and the coordination of the custody agreements and all that stuff, it really made me think twice about the fact that I don't think I want kids. And also, have you ever like talked to a pregnant woman about the pregnancy and all the shit that happens and actual like giving birth? It's gross. It's disgusting. And the more I learned about it, it wasn't like this magical thing that I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait for that to happen to me. I was like, I'm going to do everything that I physically can do to stop that from happening.
When America started treating women like they had less rights than guns. Nail in the coffin right there.
I'm curious. I had thoughts about not having kids when I was literally 19, but I never voiced them because that would then disappoint my family. I have a Jewish mother who wants me to have little girls to keep the Jewish bloodline. And then I have Eshan father that want me to have boy, have son to keep on the Chan line. But it really came down to when I was dating this amazing person, but they wanted a big family. They were wanting 4 to 6 children. I was like, who's carrying that? Fucking me. And that's when I realized I don't want to carry anything. So yeah, I tried getting sterilized or having my tubes tied when I was 22, but a lot of the hospitals here are religiously based, so they're like, you'll change your mind. And that's when I found the Reddit post that has doctors in various states that are going to help you to sterilize yourself if you want to. Check out my journey and my Child Free by Choice playlist on my profile.
Seriously, lovelies, a lot of child-free by choice women has actually given the reasons why they decided that they are going to be child-free. And the one that actually got me the most was the part at which the first woman that stitched her video was talking about how her mom was always, talking about how disappointed or how she regret ever having her as a baby, or ever having her as a child, or ever giving birth to her. And this actually got me thinking, and something like this is something that most of these, kids are going through. Like, I just want to chip in something. No matter who you are, or no matter how you feel life is, hard, it's actually not nice when you keep on blaming your child of your misfortune. A lot of women, often do something like this when they have maybe a misunderstanding with their spouse, or even a misunderstanding, or maybe when they feel that their life is not, always beautiful, or always the way they projected it to be, and they decide they go ahead to blame it on the child they had. There are a lot of women that sometimes they'll have to blame their child of not trying to achieve their aim, or not going for their career, or not going for their sole purpose in life, or because they feel that the baby have actually made her not to achieve so many things in terms of career wise, educational wise, and all of that. That's why if you want to give birth to a child, it should be a decision that you yourself have made, so that's not when you bring this child into the world, you try to blame this child of your misfortune, or try to like paint it that, oh, if not for you, I could have been somewhere better. You are the one that actually stopped my life from moving. You are the one that actually made me not to be where I am today. Why blaming the child? That's why I really do not blame any child free by choice woman, or any woman that actually want to give birth. But one thing sure is that when you want to do this decision, you should be able to make this decision so purposely for yourself. You should be able to make this decision on your own, so that you won't get to regret it tomorrow. You won't get to try to blame someone that you brought into this world. There are a lot of women that actually want to pursue their life, their career, anything. If you know you want to do that, and you don't want any child that could maybe, stop you on the way, just go for it. Become your child free by choice, instead of maybe giving birth to a child, then later on you start to blame the child of you are the reason why I am actually not the place I'm supposed to be. I regret ever betting you, and all of that. maybe you had issues with the man or whatever, you want to blame the child. It's not the child's fault. No child ever beg a mom to bet him or her. Children are a decision that you made for yourself. The child didn't make that decision for you. Having a child is your own problem. It's not the child's problem. So you shouldn't bring the child to your shenanigans. If you want to have a child, it is your own decision and not the child's. I just don't like the fact at which after having a child, you want to come blame the baby or what you produce as the reason why your life is the way it is. It is not the child's fault. And stop dragging these babies into your shenanigans. You want to have a child because you had that decision by yourself and not the child's fault. You want to have a child because you actually know the implications of having children and you decided to have it, and it's your right that you have to take this child you gave birth to till when the child is of certain age and stop these blames. Because this is something that is trending. So many women will just come and start blaming the kids they have for the reasons why their life is not, or for the reasons why they have not achieved anything. If you know you want to achieve something, if you know that you want to do so many things, want to travel, you want to, then please do not have babies. Do not have kids. If you know you also want to live your life, you want to do whatever you want to do. Do not do that. Instead of having a baby and start blaming the baby of trying to stop you from achieving whatever goals you want to achieve. This also happening now in our black communities very, very well. A lot of women will blame their children. Oh my God, you are the reason why I am not where I'm supposed to be today. Oh my God, I regret ever having you as a child. If not because I had you, I could have finished my degree. I could have been here. Like, it is not the child's fault. It is your fault that your life is the way it is. It is your fault that you made the bed you are lying today. So stop blaming these innocent kids. Stop blaming them. This actually got me worried. Like, this is something that I have seen. I have heard. I have seen. This is something that has been happening. Because you're actually putting that baby trauma, and now she begin to feel that so many, like having babies are now abomination. Like, seriously. If you want to have this decision, do it so purposely for yourself and not for the child. And when you're going to bring the child into this world, you are responsible for it. No baby, no human ever begged you to bet her. You made that decision yourself. You went ahead to sleep around, or you went ahead to have it with your man, or with your husband, or whatsoever. It is not the baby's fault. Stop blaming these kids and stop making them to have this trauma. Like, look at what she's saying right now. To this extent, to this age, she's still remembering how her mom is still telling her how she regretted ever having her. Like, seriously, what is this? If you want to have a baby, make sure you're doing that for yourself. Do not blame any man. Do not blame anybody. It is your decision. A lot of women, I also posted a video where a woman was like, oh my God, I never wanted to have a baby, but my man persuaded me to have a baby, after which he abandoned us, he left us, and now I don't want this baby anymore. I want to go back, enjoying my life, going out with the club and all of that. Why must you allow a man to convince you to bet a child, which you yourself you do not want? Do you know that women are 90% responsible for any child they birth? So when a man leaves you alone with these babies, do not complain. Have a child because you want to have it for yourself. Don't have a child and later on you start looking for who to blame that abandoned you for having a child. This is something you have to think very well. This bringing up a human being has to do with a lot of psychological thing. If it's something that you know you can do it for yourself, not for anyone else. So that tomorrow, if anything happens, maybe the man in your life left you or leaves you alone, you won't be blaming anyone. Then you can, woman up and take up your responsibilities. Because you wouldn't trust this man. This is why women are advised to give birth to the amount of people, amount of children that they can be able to take care of personally. Personally. You cannot pet and trust someone to come help you. Trust your... Yes, I know there are so many good men out there. There are so many beautiful family out there. There are so many men that can, that will support you all through the way. That will marry you to, but there are also so many that will still leave you alone with that baby. Then you now start crying and start running around on how he abandoned you, how you can't take care of this baby anymore yourself. Please birth children that you will be able to take care of by yourself, and never allow anybody to persuade you into being a mom. Become a mother because you so wanted it, because you love to be a mom, because you want to have a baby, you want to have your mini self. Don't do that because you are doing it for something. Do that for yourself, so that tomorrow you won't want to frustrate any baby you bet, trying to blame the baby for your misfortune. No. There are a lot of women don't want to be child free, and some men will just come up with them. Oh, by 50 you will not be child free. Like what? Like what is this? This is their life. They know the reason why. Women should be allowed to live their life. They should be allowed to make decisions for themselves. Like, being a mother is not a bed of roses. There are so many things you have to put into consideration. You have to pause your life to some extent to raise a human. You have to pause your life. You have to sacrifice so many things to be a mom. So this is a decision that is personal. It's not a decision that someone has to impose in you. It's a decision that you have to impose yourself. If it's something that you know that you can do, you do it. You wouldn't allow someone to actually force you to be into doing something that you don't want to do. So all of this actually got my attention, and I say that I want to talk more about this particular, thing. I don't like the fact that so many women will bear a baby and try to blame this child of their misfortune. Go blame your man that left you, or go blame your man. Blame yourself. You are going to blame yourself. If I want to make a decision, I will make it for my personal self. So that if I want to blame anybody, I will blame myself. I will say that, damn, I messed up this time around. Don't allow anyone to push you to make a decision that you might regret, or might want to come frustrate someone else for your own decision. Do it because you love it. Do it because this is what you want. Do it because you feel you want to do that. And do not blame anyone for your own doings, for your own decision, for your own life. If you want to have beautiful babies in this world, there are beautiful kids. It's a gift from God. It's a gift for yourself. Do it because you want that gift. Do it because you accepted the fact that, okay, I want to go through all this pregnancy stress, raising children stress, and all of that. Do it for yourself and not for someone else. Don't allow someone to talk you into doing it. It should be a decision that you have to do for yourself, or make for yourself. Anyway, lovelies, this is just my 1 cent. Why don't just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think. If you're child-free by choice, you should just leave in the comment section of what actually made you to become a child-free by choice. What prompted you, your experience, the reasons. Someone might learn. Well, leave a thought in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel, please, if you're yet to do that. Like this video, turn on notification bell so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And lovelies, I will see you when I upload my next video.
If you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave your thought in the comment section. Subscribe to my channel if you're yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload my next video.